I just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for the support so far. Um, I don't know when this one's going to come out. I'm guessing it'll be the third or fourth video, but right now we've gotten like I think nearly 780 views, so that's hype. We're small right now, and we're gonna be small for a while. Pause. But I wanna make the best videos I possibly can. So if y'all could if y'all could leave a comment, whatever you want, or subscribe, or do all of them, it helps out so much. But back to the topic. So Team USA has been playing the Olympics, and so far Joel Embiid has been hot ass. I mean, he's been putting up 10, 7, and 3 on 17 minutes a night in the showcase games. It's not what you would expect from the MVP of the league. And in his first legit game against Jokic, he got sunned. I mean, he put up 4 points and 4 boards on 2 of 5 shooting. Did not make a single point at the line. And his dog shit play has brought up these conversations about how Anthony Davis should start over him or stuff like that. But something I found more interesting, especially as a Mavs fan, is who should play in 2028. And we know that guys like Ant, Tyrese, Tatum, and Bam are to come back. They'll add in some new guys. Cooper Flag's gonna come in, probably John Morant, Jada, Donovan Mitchell, Paolo Banchero, Zion, Cooper Flag again. The center spot is kind of interesting to me though, because usually on this current roster we have 3 guys who can run 5, and we know Bam and Chet are probably gonna play. And I mean, they could use Zion as technically a backup center, but a name that's been thrown around a lot, and it's Mavs center Dereck Lively. And I'm a Mavs fan. I'm a Lively fan, so the idea of him being a backup center for Team USA is wild for me. And that kind of got me thinking, like, would he even be a backup? Like, he could be like, he might be the legit starting center. And I mean, like, coming out of Duke, Lively averaged 5, 1, and 5. And when you were looking at him as a prospect, he was supposed to be like this raw athletic guy who needed a lot of polishing on offense. He definitely spent a lot of time in the G League, but he'd end up being a legit defensive center. And I mean, his point high for Duke was literally 13 points. And I mean, he was injured a lot, but that wasn't that good of a sign. And a lot of comps I saw were like Willie Cauley-Stein, Jackson Hayes, Nick Richards, Claxton, Tyson Chandler, which is a big range, definitely. But he was like supposed to be a legit first round type guy, maybe late lottery. But when the draft came up like closer and closer, his name slowly like went up the draft boards. And eventually, like, we kind of knew it was gonna happen, but on draft night Dallas traded down from 10 to 12 and drafted him there, which was, I mean, it was rumored, but it was kind of shock. I mean, like, we went into summer league and he was putting up 8 and 1 on 68% from the field, so he played better than he did at Duke. But like, summer league, there was not that much competition for centers, and it kind of seemed like he'd still spend a lot of time in the G League. So when we got to the preseason, he didn't really play that much. He had like 15 against Detroit, but it's Detroit in preseason, and so no one really cares. But finally the season starts, and it's the first game of Lively's career, so it's a big game for him. But that wasn't the biggest headline of the night, because you see the Mavs were playing the Spurs in San Antonio, and this would be #1 pick Victor Wembanyama's first ever game. So basically everyone was watching this game. So what did Lively do? Well, he came off the bench for Maxi Kleber, which was kind of a bad choice, but he ended up having a 16-point double-double in his first ever game, outscoring and out-rebounding the #1 pick Victor Wembanyama. Keep in mind, his career high at Duke was 13 points. So that game was letting me know, like, okay, this guy's special. And he ended up being like, I think he didn't start the second game too, but by the third game he was like legitimately our starting center, and he was that for the rest of the season until the deadline. I mean, he had some injuries in January, but he was a consistent starter until like a few games after the deadline, when Gaffer took his spot because he was playing really good in the starting spot, and that went all the way to the finals. And Lively stayed solid. Pause. I gotta stop doing that. His first season with the Mavericks, he averaged 9 and 7 with a block on 75% from the field. and he got better literally every single game. And he was showing highlights of, a lot of people were saying like, oh, he's just a Luka merchant, but he was showing like highlights of maybe he could have his own offensive game. I mean, he had like a few games where he put up a Euro step, or he would have like a little fadeaway type thing. So there's potential there, and he stayed consistent throughout the playoffs. He averaged basically the same stats. I think it was like 8 and 6 instead. But something interesting happened in the finals I want to look at. Now, in the pre-draft process, there was this clip of Lively at this workout, and he was lighting up threes. I think he had like 8 or 9 in a row, and it was kind of cool, but no one thought it would actually translate to the league. I mean, he took 2 threes the entire season. Most of them were like buzzer beater, just shot chuck, and he didn't make any of them. But in game 4 of the finals against Boston, in the first quarter, after Luka drove into the key from the right wing, he kicked out to Lively in the corner, and Tatum, like, he thought about guarding him, but he was like, he's not gonna hit that. So Lively just took the shot and he hit it, and the shot looked pretty. And like, I'm not saying that Lively is gonna be able to shoot like Dirk or anything, but even throughout the off season, he was working on his shooting this year. Like, not like this video, I think the video came out today, where he's not just working on like corner threes, he's working on middies, pull-ups from low, floaters, shot from up top, from the wing. And you know, I personally think his mechanics are already really good. He just needs to be able to do those in game speed. And with Dallas's new acquisition of Klay Thompson, Lively's gonna have a lot of open shots next season. He'll be able to get the reps in, and if he ends up hitting them, we're looking at a legitimate all-star in the future. I mean, like, looking back at his comparisons, I think he's clearly past Willie Cauley-Stein. Some Warriors fans might not be happy with that, but I think he has. I don't think he's better than Tyson Chandler yet, because Tyson has a DPOY, but Tyson's mentoring Lively, so I wouldn't be surprised by like year 3 or year 4 if he surpasses Tyson. I'm pretty confident he'll reach that ceiling. And also, Jackson Hayes was never a good comparison. I forgot where. I think it was NBA Draft.net. They need to evaluate themselves for a bit. But anyways, who do I think Lively can be in the future? We haven't, I'm gonna be honest, we haven't really seen much like him. I mean, like, Lively is like this hyper athletic big that can finish from everywhere. He's an elite rim protector and a shot blocker that can play well on a drop. So now you're saying he can develop a legit jumper and shoot threes with how much space he's gonna end up getting? That's scary as hell, not even mentioning how good of a passer he is. And so the 2 comps I came up with that are universally accepted are Jarrett Allen and Brook Lopez. So he could beat like this guy where he's like 17 points a game with 9 boards and 3 assists. I think he'll be a fringe DPOY guy. He'll probably average like 2 or 3 blocks in his prime. I don't think he might not win it, honestly, because he'll be in the league with guys like Wemby, Shet, Amen, Asar in their prime. But with how good, like how much he's been progressing, Lively, I wouldn't rule it out. So do I think Dereck Lively can make Team USA in 2028? Yeah, 100%. And I'm gonna be honest, I think he could very easily end up being the starting center. We'll have to see though. But again, thank y'all so much for the support on the first few videos. I got more stuff coming out again. I really don't know how to end